Hi, this is Preetha and you're watching Dakshin Curry. Today I'll be making bhajis, which is a popular roadside snack in southern India. And I'll be using 3 ingredients to make that. One is plantain banana, one is patta ajwain, and I'll be also using Bhavnagri chilies. To know the recipe and how I'm making it, stay tuned. So the main ingredient for making these bhajis is besan, but of course there are other ingredients also. Let's have a look. Firstly, I am using 1 cup of besan here. Apart from that, I am using 1/3 cup of rice flour. I'll be using oil for deep fat frying and also using a little bit of hot oil while making the batter. A little bit of turmeric, baking soda, which is going to make the bhajis, fluff up nicely. Red chilli powder, cumin seed powder, salt to taste, a pinch of hing, and these are the ingredients that I am using to make our bhajis. I am using these chilies here, Bhavnagri chilies. What I have done is I have just slit them, not completely but just in between, and deseeded them, not completely, just the maximum amount of seeds have been removed, a little bit is still there for the spice factor. I am using these Ajwain leaves. Now these are very aromatic, and apart from that they are very good for health, for your cough and cold. Of course here we are making fritters out of this and it's nice and flavorful, so you must try that. And I am using the banana, the Plantain banana. I have sliced it thinly and I placed it in water so that there is no discoloring. And obviously we will be using water to make our batter. So let's start, let's make our batter. So let's start with our batter. Now firstly I have some oil here, so let's start. Just add in all the dry ingredients first. First goes the chana dal flour, then goes the rice flour. If you want, you can also sieve this. I'm going to add some turmeric, red chilli powder. Now this is going to be a little spicy, and cumin seed powder for flavor. Now this is optional, but I feel that it gives a nice flavor. If you want, you could probably add crushed cumin seeds also, a pinch of hing, a little bit of salt, and now what we'll do is we'll mix this well. And while making the batter, what we are going to do is we'll add a little bit of hot oil. Now what the hot oil will do is it will ensure that when we fry our bhajis, they don't absorb a lot more oil than is required. Let's start the water. Add water little by little. First make it into a nice thick paste. Ensure that there are no lumps. Now during this process, what I am going to do is I am going to add oil, as I told you. Just a drop of oil and beat it well. You can also use a whisk. Now some people don't use soda, so it's optional, but I think that it gives a nice puffed feel, so I am adding it. Now you need to remember that the batter has to be of the right consistency, not too thick, not too thin, because if your batter is going to be very thin, it's not going to coat on to your vegetables or any ingredient that you use to make the fritters. And if it's going to be very thick, it's going to take a lot more time to cook and it's not going to be very crisp. My oil is getting heated. Now my batter is almost ready. Now I just need to add the soda, and I'll be adding the soda right towards the end, just before we start making. So I'm using around 3/4 teaspoon, and now just mix it well. Let us start. So first I'm going to be starting with the ajwain. Just dip it in batter and then fry. Now, so you can see it's fluffing up because of the soda. It's nice and crispy brown. and then we'll remove them. Now if you want, in the batter you can also add a little bit of Ajwain. That will also give a nice flavor, but here I am using the Ajwain leaves. This is now done. I'm just going to remove these, drain out the excess oil. There. And as you can see, they look fried, they don't look soggy, too greasy with oil, and that's happened because we bet the batter well with hot oil. So remember to do that process. Now let's continue with the rest of the ingredients. So I'll be doing the chilies. Now like I told you, I have slit the chilies. If you want to flavor them, you can flavor it with a little bit of cumin seed powder or probably garam masala or just salt and cumin seed powder, or you can even stuff it probably with cottage cheese or with the potato mix, but this is the most standard form. Now just keep this. Remember to keep the bowl of the batter near the oil, that way you have more ease while frying them. And fry. Now what happens is, at times while frying you also need to remember that if you splash some oil from top, it does not go and stick to the other fritter. And these chilies are mildly spicy, so usually when I make them I do not deseed it, because I'm showing it to you guys. I showed you how to slit it. So let's fry this. So as you can see, this is almost done. I'm going to remove these onto my plate now. Drain the excess oil. Now on the roadside you must have noticed that the bhajis have an extraordinarily dark color. It's not like burnt, nor is it golden brown. That's because of the color that they add. They add food color also. So now the same ways I am going to do the plantain banana. Now they tend to curl a bit if you keep them in ice cold water, so you can avoid that. Now if you feel that there is a problem with your batter, it's become thin, don't worry, you can add a little bit of besan, or you can even add a little bit of maida to get your consistency right. Let's make place for the last one, and let's see how they're doing. So our last batch is also almost ready. As you can see the color. We'll remove this now. Drain off the excess oil. These bhajis look really awesome, and I'm just waiting to gorge on them. So quickly like the recipe, share it, and hit subscribe on India Food Network. Until next time, bye.